So my name is Hila Fish. I'm a Senior DevOps Engineer and I work for Wix. I have 15 years of experience in the tech industry. I've talked about technical documentation and I've written a lot of documents throughout my career. I'm a firm believer in communities, so I'm part of AWS Community Builders program, which allows me to connect with like-minded people. I'm also recognized as HashiCorp Ambassador because I talk about Terraform a lot. I have communities in Israel, so I co-manage a community for open source, and I also co-manage programs in a community called Ba'ot, which is a community for technical women in tech. So I really believe that communities is what drives, our industry to perform at its best. And then in my spare time, I'm a singer in a cover band, so that's fun too. Sure. So I talked about technical documentation, specifically how can I write technical docs and why should I do it. So at first I started out with why should we write technical documents. So I covered things like if I have incident runbooks, like documents that will help me fix issues, then I can go back to sleep faster. I help the companies meet their SLAs, and I prevent downtime because of that and prevent waste of money and data loss. Other things help make things clear for the future you, because let's say you did a project and you need to maintain it like in the long run. After a year, you don't remember what you did after a year. So if you document things, then you can really utilize things in the best way possible because everything is written down. It's good for visibility for your career, because if people know what you did, then they know to come to you and they know what projects you did and what are your capabilities. And there are a lot of things that I covered in this aspect of why write technical documents. And then I switched to talk about how to write technical documents like in a structured process without being a technical writer, because none of us are good with words, but it doesn't matter, because what matters is sharing the knowledge. This is why I really believe that everyone should write technical documents. So it started out with understand who's the audience, if the document is for internal use or external use. Then I don't remember everything, but that, and I gave some content guidelines to use table of contents, to use short sentences, and basically to write in simple English, because people don't read documents, they scan it first. So in order to help them scan a document, you need to have table of contents and links and stuff like that to help them scan and the document and understand if this is what they came to do, or they need to go and search for something else. So a lot of content guidelines, and then feedback is very, very important as well, because you want to make sure that the document that you've written is really helpful, because if not, you need to do some iterations and fix whatever is needed in order to help make the document much more clear. So I think this is like in a nutshell. Okay, so another thing that I covered in the talk is that there are tools, like I mentioned Docusaurus or Swim, but I assume that there are other tools that help you with CI/CD for documents to make sure to check for validations, to check that there are no broken links. If you update code snippets, then these tools will help you update it wherever it is mentioned. So if you don't have these tools, you can still make sure that docs are updated if you make it part of your tasks. So if I have a task to do something, if the definition of done of a task is to include document or make sure the document is updated, then you know that a documentation is always in the loop. Like you already consider updating it because it is part of the task definition of done. So I would say start with that. And then if you can't utilize tools because you don't have the money or you don't have the time to deal with it, then at least revise, do a checkup in your department, in your company, to see the pain points, and then find which processes you can set up in order to make sure that these pain points are met, and see how documentation can help you achieve that. Okay, so the Docs as Code method is basically to write documents while you're still in your IDE. Documents are in a folder in your code repo, so you don't need to leave the IDE in order to write documents, as opposed to the old way of documents that are in a knowledge base. So if some companies are still not in the Docs as Code method, the good things is that DOS's code is in your IDE, and engineers doesn't like to leave IDE. They want to write code and stick with that, and that's it. So that way you don't make them go anywhere else. They're still in their IDE, and they update the documentation there. It is written in Markdown, so it is platform agnostic. You can integrate it wherever you want. It is human readable. You can easily write, do diffs between read and writes. So this is, DOS's code has a lot of advantages that will help you convince your managers or your stakeholders in the company to make sure that this is the way to go, because it will help us achieve anything really, and it will be fairly easy to do it if we use the DOS's code method. So there isn't a specific thing that excites me, but what excites me is the fact that we always seek for solutions for our pain points and our pains in general. So let's say documentation, okay? Swim is rather a new company in Israel that tackles the issue of updating documents and make sure that they are not stale, and they update it and help you update it as easy as possible. So basically, the fact that we take the technology and utilize technology in order to help us solve issues, this is like, I think there's no limit to what we can do. We can see, ChatGPT and AI in general and the fabulous things that it does. I think we will see it like ongoing even more. We have things that are painful for us. We want to fix things, and we will utilize technology for sure in order to help fix those issues. And I'm excited to see what's else to come, because the AI things, are crazy. So what else could be done, So let's see. So Jay on the Beach is really a unique experience because, first of all, the people are, I can't really express how amazing the people are, so warm, so kind. So only for that, it's awesome, because conferences, it's not only to come and learn new things or learn about new companies that exhibit in the sponsor area, but also to connect with people. So the audience here is very awesome and warm. It's fun to connect with people here. So this is one reason. Second reason is that really the level of or the types of talks here in the conference is very diverse. So I'm sure anyone that will come here will find something that interests them. So really, it covers everything. So I believe that it will be interesting for everyone. And in general, good vibes. There are good vibes here. So yeah, I'm enjoying myself, and I'm sure that anyone that will come here will enjoy themselves too. Thank you.